All right, boys and girls, as I mentioned, we are going to be talking about nutrition over the next several weeks. And so today is kind of a little bit of an introduction. We're not going to cover a whole lot of content today. We are going to cover a little bit, but as the weeks go on, we are going to be learning more and more about nutrition. I am going to show you over the next couple of weeks a resource that you can use called the My Plate. It sometimes looks like a plate. Sometimes it actually looks like the lunch trays that you could find at school. But I'm going to try and find the plate option for you all since most of you all are at home. And each part of the My Plate has a different group of foods. And we're going to talk more about that in the coming weeks. But again, nutrition is the process by which organisms like people and animals take in and utilize food material. Okay? The food that we eat provides our body with energy. And that energy from food allows us to work, grow, and play, and all of that kind of stuff. So we're getting energy from the food that we eat. Now, energy from food, we measure that in calories. Okay, I'm sure that some of you all have heard the term calories before. It's something that a lot of folks kind of pay attention to with what they eat, how many calories they're eating in a day. And that is very important because the calories that we eat translates into energy. Okay, so our energy in our body comes from the calories that we eat. Now, we have this process called energy in and energy out. And what that is as we consume food and drinks, we're taking those calories, that energy in the form of calories, and our body is using it. And as we're using it, that's the out part. We are using that energy. We are burning calories. Okay, so you'll often hear that term, burning calories. And so what's happening is throughout the day, I'm consuming food, I'm consuming drinks, and I am bringing calories into my body. And then as I am moving throughout the day, every little thing that I do, my body is using that energy. So I am burning through calories. So now we have to kind of pay attention to that balance of energy in versus energy out. Okay? If we are working on our body composition, something that we need to pay attention to is our energy in, energy out balance. Okay, so if I am working on my body composition, and remember for body composition, that's the relationship of fat mass versus fat-free mass, and how much my body is made up of fat, how much of my body is not. And so when I'm focusing on my body composition in terms of nutrition, energy in, energy out, if I am bringing in more calories than what I am using, my body is going to store those extra calories in the form of fat. Okay, so that's how our body develops fat, by consuming more calories than we use. We consume more energy than what we're using throughout the day. Okay? If I am trying to reduce the amount of fat in my body, then I might be trying to limit the number of calories that I consume in a day. And so what I'm doing is I'm consuming less calories and I'm exercising more, so I'm using more calories, and my body is going to it's going to use up the energy that I took in for the day. But then if it needs more energy, it's going to dip into those fat reserves that our body has stored up, and it's going to get its energy from there. Okay, and so what happens is eventually over time, your body will start to burn through those extra fat stores in order to get energy, and then your fat is going to reduce, it's going to get less. And so that's going to provide our bodies with a more lean body composition, Our fat-free mass is going to increase in the form of muscle as our fat mass goes back down. And then you've got your balance. If I am consuming about the same number of calories as I am using in a day, then my body's just going to use the calories that I consumed, and it's not going to store or dip into to use the extra calories. Okay, so it's really a big balancing act. I want you to imagine one of those scales that you might use in your classroom, where if you put weight on one side, the other side goes up, and then if you do the other, it goes back down like this. Okay, so we have options of balanced, where we have the same energy in as the same energy out. We've got where we consume more calories and we expend less. Okay, and that means that our bodies are going to store those extra calories in the form of fat. And then we've got where we consume less calories and our body, we burn more, and that uses up our energy stores, and we start to develop muscle. Okay, so energy in, energy out, measured in calories, and it's a balancing act. Now, when we consume food, boys and girls, we are looking at the different types of nutrients. Okay, nutrients are kind of like the different things that we're going to get out of food. So if I'm looking at a full plate, on my full plate, each of those food items has nutrients in it. And remember, whatever I consume, it's going to be, my body's going to use it. Okay, so the types of nutrients that we're going to talk about over the next couple of weeks are carbohydrates, lipids, which are also known as fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. And then, of course, there's water as well. We do get water from the food that we eat. And so those are the different types of nutrients. And again, we're going to continue to talk about those over the next couple of weeks, in addition to creating a My Plate with the different food groups, which is different than the nutrients. Okay. But so today we were just focusing on energy in, energy out in the form of calories. So when we're consuming foods, we can check on the food labels, which I'll show you some examples another day of food labels. We're going to look at the number of calories. We add those all up throughout the day. That's how many calories we ate. And then as we burn calories, our body uses calories. Okay, how is that number balancing out for energy in, energy out? So for now, what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you to complete an activity, and what that activity is doing is using calories, burning calories. Okay, and so what you might notice is towards the end of that time, your energy levels are down. But then later on in your day, you're going to refuel with your next meal or snack, and you're going to get that energy back in, okay? And you're starting to balance out. So I hope that you enjoy your next activity, and I will see you again in a few minutes for your outro. All right, bye, boys and girls.